Have you ever seen those PSAs about how too much screen time could be detrimental to your kid's health? Well, good news, because I've got a movie that's an hour and 41 minutes of that. Hello, I'm Lizardmon, and this is Grim Cuddy in 15 minutes or less. Grim Cuddy was directed by John William Ross and has an IMDb rating of 4.3 out of 10 and a popularity of 47. We start off the movie as a mother checks in on her sleeping child. We see that for some reason he's locked in his own room, forcing him to have to sneak out through the window, while his mother is on her computer worrying about how her child can be affected by social media and how it could be a detriment to his safety. We see as the mother finds another link on the computer, causing her to worry even more, while at the same time the boy looks out the window and sees an ominous figure off in the distance. We continue to see the mother stressed out even more, while the son is now climbing the counters to retrieve a knife from the cabinet. After arming himself with the knife, we see the figure is now making its way through the front door. As the child runs away, he runs into the same room of his mother. As the monster begins to close in on him, he makes a surprising change and stabs his mother instead. We are then forced to listen to an ASMR video about relieving stress, but ASMR just gives me more stress. We then see our main character Asha has a YouTube channel for ASMR and only has 9 subscribers and 12 views, much like my videos. Subscribe, please. We are then introduced to the rest of the family with Dad Amir, Mother Leia, and Brother Cameron. We find out that the father is worried about his family getting too much screen time, and each week his family has a phone-free outing. We then see as the brother Carmen is in a jazz band as Asha sneaks off to be with her friend, obviously not knowing the subtleties of jazz.
You like jazz?
One of the fathers then begins to tell Amir about how there's this new challenge going around that's causing kids to cut themselves, even saying that one of them made them stab their own mother, referencing to the mother from the beginning of the movie. Amir, after hearing the story, begins to worry about his daughter as he goes outside to check on her. We then begin to find out as to why the father is worrying about his daughter, that being ever since she stopped doing track, he thinks that she's just been isolating herself. We then see as the family has now returned back to the house, with everybody being on their own individual devices, until the father and mother both get separate messages about this disturbing thing, and when they click on it, it's a picture of the Grim Cuddy. We then see Asha in her room as her door mysteriously opens, only for her father to pop in, saying how he would like to go upstairs and talk to them about something, that something being the Grim Cuddy.
We're here to talk about suicide.
They then have the Grim Cuddy talk about how many kids are doing the challenge and they just don't want to see their kids do anything like that. Asha then goes to get on her phone and sees that all the other children are also asking about the Grim Cuddy. We then return to the parents, who are now in their bedroom, as the mother receives a text about one of the other school children cutting themselves in the hallway, causing the parents to decide to do even more research and worry about whatever it is that could be inflicting their children, while at the same time we now see a mysterious black figure begin to pop up outside the house. Asha is now making toast down in the living room while listening to ASMR and giving me another anxiety attack. I am then forced to listen to the sound of her spread butter on toast, and I just want to bang my head as hard as I can into the nearest hardest sharp object.
I am going to commit suicide.
Asha then looks to her left and sees the Grim Cuddy standing there.
Do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ?
Alerting her parents and coming downstairs to find her with a knife. Of course, after telling her parents how she saw somebody in the house, they then call the police, and after explaining what happened to her to the police, they don't believe her. The cop then talks to the parents, explaining that it appears to be a prank going around with all the other children, causing the dad to go in and just take all of Asha's electronic devices. The next morning, we see as Asha comes back upstairs and sees the entire family gathered around a briefcase and all the family's electronic devices. What is this box, you may ask? Well, this is what they call a detox box, where they take all their electronic devices and put them in the box for an entire week. Oddly enough though, the brother Carmen just immediately throws his stuff in there, acting like it's no big deal. But of course Asha has a problem with this, asking why they decided to do this, but the mother saying it's time to cut your screen time and work on yourself in the meantime, causing the father to have an outburst. Asha then trying to pry the phone from her father's hands when she sees Grim Cuddy underneath the table, definitely making herself look like she's a well-adjusted teen.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Asha then wakes up her brother in the middle of the night saying, I want to see the secret laptop.
What laptop?
Because she knows he wouldn't have just given up his stuff like that if he didn't have a backup. The parents then decide to disconnect the router, so even if they do have the laptop, they have no way of accessing the internet. Asha then grabs a knife from the kitchen and opens up the detox box, because I guess they decided to just get one from the clearance bin. After opening the box, she gets her phone out and sees that she has a text from Cassidy Johnston. Cassidy then sees how all the other parents are taking away the phones from the children. We then see as Asha's parents come downstairs to see that somebody has opened the box, leading to them to trying to find Asha throughout the house. And for some reason, this house has one of the strangest layouts I've ever seen, with a bathroom that also has a door leading to the outside, a door that also has a window on it in case you want to poop with friends. We then see as Cassidy's parents come into the room and ask her what she's doing and don't realize that she's on her phone, thinking that she's actually reading. We then cut to the parents worrying outside of the front of the house while Asha is in the garage, leading to her once again seeing the Grim Cuddy.
We've been trying to contact you regarding your car's extended warranty.
After trying to flee from him, he manages to grab her arm and slice her while at the same time she has a knife that she brought into the bathroom. As the parents enter the bathroom, it appears as though she's cutting herself, thus giving in to the Grim Cuddy challenge. She then explains to her parents about how she wants to go to the school so that she could feel normal, but she really just wants to talk to the other kids about what's going on with the whole Grim Cuddy challenge. The next day at school, they're all in an assembly saying that most of the class is not even there due to the fact that the parents are worried about the Grim Cuddy challenge. Cassidy then rolls a message to Asha so accurately that she should be on the school's bowling team. They then meet in the bathroom where Cassidy explains to Asha how her parents made her put her phone into detox box using the same exact terminology that Asha's parents used. They then decide that they need to find a way to get onto the internet and decide to go to this kid Oliver's house. Oliver then allows them to use his laptop so they can look up what's going on with the Grim Cuddy challenge, but not before one of the kids decides to take a video of everyone pretending to kill themselves.
Oh my god, he's so goddamn cool!
The father then finds out that Asha is not at school, thus leading to him worrying again. While searching the laptop, they see that there's this mommy blog talking about a detox box and Grim Cuddy, but the Grim Cuddy page has been removed. The parents then receive a video of the same video of the kids pretending to kill themselves at the party, and we see Asha in the background, causing them to worry even more. And of course, this leads to the Grim Cuddy showing up at the house.
Hello, I'm Rico, and I like to party.
Asha then Skypes her brother and tells him to try to look up the address of the mommy blogger, while at the same time, Kamran explains that the dad has put a lock on the Wi-Fi router, so if there's any suspicious activity, he'll get a notification. The parents then rush to the house to find Asha in the hallway trying to stab herself. The father then gets a notification on his phone about somebody using the Wi-Fi at the house and figures out that it is Kamran, causing them to worry big time. We then see as Carmen is at his desk on the computer when he tries to Skype Asha again, and we see that there's the Grim Cuddy in the camera, but every time Kamran looks behind him, he doesn't see him until he gets rushed by him.
Literally have 0 IQ. How do you get box? You're literally dog water. You're literally rice water.
The parents walk in to see that a tie is wrapped around his neck, appearing that he tried to strangle himself. Asha then wakes up in the hospital as she's been drugged to try to help with the pain and sees that Kamran is in the bed next to her. Asha sees that on Kamran's laptop he found the address and she decides to take her mother's car and go there, while at the same time we found out that Cassidy Johnston is also in the hospital after being sliced on her leg. Asha then kind of begins to figure out that because of the parents freaking out is what makes the Grim Cuddy stronger. The mother then finds out that Asha is not in the room and finds out that she may have gone to the address that was on Kamran's laptop, and instead of immediately telling her father, she decides that she's going to handle it herself, taking an Uber there. Asha then arrives at the house of the mother only to find out that she seems to be completely ignorant of the Grim Cuddy. She explains that her family had an incident a while ago, but there's nothing to worry about, telling Asha to leave. Instead of Asha leaving, she then decides she's going to sneak around the back of the house while seeing in the trash can that all the electronic devices in the house have been completely destroyed. Asha then decides to commit breaking and entering by sneaking into the back of the house and going into the door with the same name Brandon on it that we saw from the beginning of the movie, only this time it has 2 more locks on it. Asha then finds another door that's even more locked up, only opening it to see that Brandon is inside of a padded room. Brandon tries to explain to her that he can't make his mother worry about him, only for the mother to arrive behind Asha with a loaded shotgun.
Stop right there, criminal scum!
While at the same time, Asha's mother now arrives and hears Asha crying from the back, where the mother tries to explain that Asha broke into her house, and trying to explain what was going on to her mother, she then slaps Asha.
Mike, kill him! We have to see this. I know what I saw.
She tries to explain to her mother that the mother has her son trapped in a room upstairs, while at the same time Asha now sees the Grim Cuddy coming after her in the rearview mirror, with her mother getting more and more aggravated to the point where she completely busts out the window. The mother then decides to go back and talk to the mother, Asha's mother explaining that my daughter said something along the lines of your son being locked in a closet and being starved. The mother tries to write it off as Asha just being crazy, but the mother says yes, she's kinda crazy from time to time, but I've never known her to be a liar. The mother then begins to explain to Asha's mom about how she saw her son looking at a picture of the Grim Cuddy and began to worry about it, causing the Grim Cuddy to come after her son. Asha's mother then runs upstairs to see that the son is indeed floating in the air as he is being held up by the Grim Cuddy. Even though she can't see the Grim Cuddy, she can still see that the son is floating 10 feet up into the air. The mother then shows back up with her shotgun, but luckily Asha runs into the back door, distracting her long enough for the mother to push her over. After doing so, Brandon comes in and stabs his mother because he no longer wants to be attacked by the Grim Cuddy. We then return back to Carmen and his father in the hospital room, and his father begins to to look through Carmen's laptop and sees a bunch of disturbing stuff, one of the searches even being the Columbine killers.
The Church of Satan, necrophilia. Dylan Klebold and Eric Harris.
Big man thing, yeah? That's a red flag right there, bruv.
We then find out that Cassidy tried to kill herself, but it was really just the Grim Cuddy. The mother tries to give the father a shot so he can relax, but he won't do it because he's too worried about his children. The mother is then ripped away by the police because she brought in Brandon. Cameron then runs out of the room, causing his father to worry even more, as we see the Grim Cuddy is once again coming for him.
I smell pennies!
Asha sees Cameron running down the hallway and manages to pull him into a room so that they can have a conversation together, explaining to him everything that she learned about the Grim Cuddy. Her plan is to get her father to worry about her and see if she can attack the Grim Cuddy and finally kill it. Asha and her father run into each other in the hallway and have a really long conversation while the Grim Cuddy is attacking Cameron at the same time. Like, really, Asha, hurry it up.
Help me! Please!
Asha is then attacked by the Grim Cuddy in what appears to be the boiler room, stabbing him multiple times, but we see that this does literally nothing.
'Tis but a scratch.
We then see as the Grim Cuddy is attempting to get Asha to stab herself, while at the last second she turns the scissors and stabs her father, making the Grim Cuddy disappear for a brief moment. Asha's father then follows her outside to where we see the Grim Cuddy is lifting her 10 feet into the air. The Grim Cuddy has to be probably one of the dumbest monsters ever because it continues to reveal itself to the parents, the one thing that they need to not know.
I'm not a smart man, but I know what love is.
Seeing this, the father then decides to stab himself with a shot and put himself to sleep so that he is no longer worrying. We then see as the other paramedics come outside to give first aid to Asha's father. We are then once again forced to listen to more ASMR, and I am once again very stressed out.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
And all she really says is basically the whole message behind the movie, to make sure to communicate with your family more. For the plot, I give it a 0.5 as it was trying way too hard to try and push a message. For the acting, it gets a 1, nothing really set it over the top for me. For the cinematography, it gets a 1, it was just very standard camera work. And for the bonus point, it gets the whole bonus point because it was fun turning the Grim Cuddy into a meme, leaving us with a final score of 3.5 out of 10. This has been Grim Cuddy in 15 minutes or less. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe. If you have any suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. And until next time, have a wonderful day.